cool. I'll keep this short and sweet. My name's Will Coleman. I work for a company there, Microsoft, and I'm part of the developer and platform evangelism group. Don't worry, we won't be doing any healing. But anyway, it's an old joke. I'll keep bringing it up. Basically, I work with a bunch of different audiences. I work with developers. I work with designers. I've also spent the last 12 months working with digital artists. Just a blatant plug here. I really encourage you to go out and check out. There's a wealth of digital art coming out of London and the UK at the moment. So just have a look, plug it yourself. Really awesome stuff. But the reason why I work with all these people ultimately is about us creating an app ecosystem for our products. Now, I know the question was about how to create like a killer app. Also, I'll be really upfront. If I really knew how to do this, I'd be out there doing it myself and blowing money and all that kind of stuff. But what I think it's actually about is actually creating a killer experience, or even just creating an authentic experience. Too often, I'll work with companies or individuals, developers, designers, whoever, and everybody's thinking very much now in silos. Like, how do I create a phone app? How do I create a Slate app? How do I create a web app? And what's actually happening is all of these things are kind of emerging into one. We're in a bit of a post-digital world. I think apps right now is where the web was back in 2000. A lot of people are going, I need an app, but no freaking idea why they need one, right? It's just all a bit history repeating itself. But what's more exciting, I guess what's more interesting though, is that there's a generation of people emerging that actually have a world where technology is starting to serve them, which is really fantastic, right? There was an age beforehand of kids who are growing up with the internet constantly on, not having to deal with dial-up and broadband, now slow broadband and all that kind of stuff. There's children out there and young adults that just expect it to serve them, and so this is the generation that I think is going to be the most exciting and where people can create amazing experiences for, because like an example, there's a guy at our work who's got obviously Kinect set up with his Xbox, and Kinect's got voice commands, Xbox Play, all that kind of stuff. What's cool is that there's kids out there now that are going like Xbox Play and then using voice commands to operate technology. But what's really funny is one of my colleagues' daughter will start to say things like Xbox ice cream, or Xbox TV, or Xbox kind of like stop my brother from hitting me. So that's really amazing, right? Like, for the first time, we're getting to a space where technology serves us, where it starts to become kind of linked with the physical. I know right now we're very much thinking about how to create applications that will run on let's say a phone, but we're getting to the space where technology and digital and physical are starting to merge. So you don't know that you walk into a room and you see a giant screen and maybe there's some kind of device or sensor tracking your body and you start to interact in a natural way. It's becoming really, I think, really interesting, and I think these types of new technologies, I guess like Kinect and other kind of sensor stuff out there, but ultimately natural user interfaces, right, like touch and motion is just another one. That is enabling a whole new wealth of experiences that you can create. If we, let's say, work with a brand right now, we're getting them not to think about necessarily an application that will work on the web or an application that will work on a mobile device. It needs to be an experience that goes cross-platform. Right? I talk about a younger generation, but people are starting to and getting to a point where they expect to have an experience with that brand in multiple formats in different contexts, and actually that experience should suit the context that they're in. There's an idea that we used to have games, let's say, on the console on a massive screen, and then we shrunk them down to a really tiny screen, but we still kept the game the same. That's kind of nuts, because that's not really what that form factor is about, right? You should be creating experiences that suit the context of which they're being used in. So I think we'll start to see, and I think where the killer stuff will come out, to use that kind of phrase, is applications and ultimately experiences that change based on where the user's at. what devices they're currently working at and kind of what mood they're in. So from a gaming perspective, I think you're starting to see things like companion experiences. So the idea that you can be, let's say, playing a racing game on the couch, sitting there with a controller, and your mate, rather than actually racing against you, can sit there with a phone and act like your pit crew and give you updates. And so I think that's really where the things are going. And ultimately, though, what I think we all should start doing is get to a point where, especially around mobile, where we bring the humanity back in experiences, like and in the apps that we create. It's really sad seeing a bunch of people sitting together looking at their phone when they should be talking. Like, I think if you're going to do anything, and if you're going to create an app experience, then bring the humanity back, right? Like, if it's a travel app, I should look at it quickly and then get on with travelling, not sitting there walking around in the street trying to figure out like where I'm at and what directions I should go. You know, we need to get back into that space, because the slides are a bit messed up here. But ultimately, you know, people want to create, they want to connect, they want to play with each other. It sounds a bit weird, but we enjoy a sense of play. And just on that note, it's really interesting if you're creating a really corporate type of experience of application. It's nice to just put some play aspects in there, right? Because everybody enjoys playing. And so where we've seen that, you know, someone's creating a line of business app and leans in a couple of cookies to, you know, make people laugh. I think that's really something. And then ultimately, like, you want to create an experience that people love. That people feel that's intrinsic to who they are and just an extension actually of themselves. And if you can hit those kind of basic tenets of, I guess, of humanity, then I think you can create like a killer experience. So I'm keeping it short and sweet, trying to keep on real good time here, Chris. That's it. Thank you.